Hey everyone, it's Father Sean here, and we're on part 3 today of the plan for reopening the celebration of public masses. So something that we're really excited about, something we're looking forward to, and we're trying to get all these details ironed out. So just a reminder, you are still dispensed from your Sunday obligation, which means if you're sick, you don't have to come. But that also means if you can make it another day other than Sunday, maybe that's a morning mass, maybe that's one of the evening masses, ask to have people spaced out. So today's is about social distancing and spacing in the church. And one of the things that we kind of tossed around, one of the things we considered doing was like a pre-registration or a ticketing. And that's not something you really wanted to do. But we have watched a webinar. We know how we could do it if we need to. There's a couple reasons why we wouldn't. One, it just feels bad. Hey, do you have a ticket to come to Mass? Like, that's not the most welcoming thing. Also, we have a lot of elderly parishioners that I don't know that they're going to know how to do that, are going to be able to do that. So we might have to, though. But for the start, we're not going to ticket or pre-register or anything like that. We're going to put out this schedule and see what happens. So, and maybe a week from now, we'll be singing a different tune. But for now, that's the plan. So we'll have people coming in for Mass, right? And our churches are going to be at different levels of capacity. Some of our parishes, the pews are tighter together, so you kind of have to have 2 pews in between. So like person 2, skip, and then another person. But some of our other pews are more spaced out, so they can swing it with every other. But the goal, right? 6 feet. Huh? We're going to get out the tape measure. Father Jared's going to get a cattle prod, he said, and he's just going to be poking. Almost dropped my tape measure. Anyway, so we got to keep people spread out. And my guess, and this is guess, is that those evening masses and the Sunday and Saturday masses are going to be the most crowded. So what we're going to do with those masses is have people seated. So we're going to ask the ushers to seat people and ask everybody to be as patient as possible. And we're going to have the ushers there 30 minutes early. So if you're there before more than 30 minutes early, we might ask you to wait. And because we're seating people, we won't be praying the rosary before Mass. If you bring your rosary, just pray that rosary like there's no tomorrow for all of us and our collective sanity, right? All right, so those evening masses and the Sunday masses, the plan is to have greeters, to have people near the doors that can open the door from the outside. So those outside doors, they'll be open for you so that you don't have to grab the door to come in. And then all of our parishes then have an interior door. So those interior doors will be opened. And then to go to see the ushers. And the ushers are going to be instructed to start from the front of the church and fill back. So I know some people have pews. It's like, that's where my family sat for the past 45 years. And that's where we always sit. Until now. Right? So we're going to have to be a little bit flexible where we're used to be seated and just kind of come as it is. So we're going to work our way back from the front of the church, and that's going to give the ushers and the greeters a good sense of how many open pews there are, so they don't have to spot ones here, there, and everywhere. They can just, as the ushers move back, they know, okay, we're getting tight. And then the choir lofts will be the last places that will fill. So if you know, like, I always sit in the choir loft, it's just where we sit, to know, like, you better time it so you're the last person, you're one of the last few people in, but not so late that there's no seat. So that's how we're going to do the seating. At the morning daily masses, we're just going to try to keep people socially distanced, ask you to monitor that yourself. Generally, our morning masses do okay with, I'm not really concerned. People generally stay pretty social distance in those masses. So that's that's what's going to happen. For our ushers, after they seat people, we're going to ask them to take a head count. This information is going to be really helpful for us, and also to count if they had to turn anybody away, how that'll happen. We are encouraging everybody to wear a mask. So if you would, please wear a mask. I'm sure by now everybody has a mask. I guess I'm not sure. I'm just pretty certain that everybody has a mask. You can also wear gloves if you want. So if you'd like to wear gloves, feel free to wear gloves. Thing is, though, both of those need to be removed before you receive Holy Communion. So a mask, you can either just like pull it down or you can take it off, but that needs to be removed before the Holy Communion is given to you, so that the Lord isn't in your hand and you're trying to get the mask off and do that. Same thing with the gloves. So we don't want any of our particles of our Lord being on those gloves, and they kind of stick to our flesh, and then we can, you can consume them there. But if they're on gloves, it's kind of like they're lost. And so to have the flesh of Christ contact to the flesh of our hands. So that will, you please wear a mask. If you can, if you want to wear gloves, that's of course fine, but please remove those before receiving Holy Communion. And then just the last socially distance related things is we won't schedule any altar servers at this time. So either we'll just put a table close by and the priest can kind of take care of everything, or the deacon will be there, or we have a seminarian who will be here with us and we'll just ask him to serve because we're already, we live on top of each other as it is. So that's the plan with the social distancing, so that there'll be ushers to help you seated. They're going to work from the front and move their way back. I know a lot of people have mentioned about using ancillary space, so whether that's the Riney Hall, the Freiburg Hall, the basement IC, or the PLC at St. Joseph. I think we have enough right now, and I don't say enough seating, I say just enough going on, that all 4 of those spaces are possible. There's technology involved in each and every one of those, and so I'd like to see how this goes for a couple of weeks to see if we need to do that. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to wait on using those bigger, overflow seating, so to speak, and try to get everybody into the churches. So thanks for your patience in that in advance. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but that's the plan for the seating and the social distance. And then as you're leaving church, we just ask you to be as patient as possible. As you're leaving church, you can just to wait. So there's not a big old horde trying to get out, and it's like it's not socially distanced. You're all on top of each other. So you see your opportunity to go. Just ask that you go when it's time to go. And of course, those who are staying behind to clean, we are very grateful for that. So if you want to clean, actually, if you feel called to, and if you're generous, and if you love Jesus, please do. So anyways, that's Father Sean for this restart plan number 3. We'll see you tomorrow with video numero 4.